All right, shalawam. First off, I want to say all praises to Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of GMS, and to the elect due to work in sincerity and in truth, shalawam. My name is Nazar Khud. This is GMS Precepts, and this article here is from MSN.com, as you can see here, and it reads, this is Bloomberg. I guess it's from a Bloomberg article. It reads, yeah, it reads, U.S. gets a debt warning from Fitch as stimulus battle rages. So in this article, it tells you that they got a negative credit. Their credit rating went from. I'll just read it. Um, I'll start from here. It says one of the world's major credit rating companies fired a warning shot regarding the U.S.'s worsening public finances on Friday, right? So this article is basically going into the economy and how it's deteriorating, as it says here. All right. Matter of fact, I'll start from here. Fitch Ratings revised its outlook on the country's credit score to negative. Okay, it revised the country's credit score to negative from stable. So it went from their credit rating was stable, and it went from stable to negative. Citing what? Citing a deterioration in the U.S. public finances and the absence of a credible fiscal consolidation plan. The country's ranking remains AAA. High fiscal deficits and debt were already on a rising medium-term path even before the onset of the huge economic shock precipitated by the coronavirus, which started in March. So it says before the coronavirus, it was already on a downward spiral, meaning the economy of America. It was already on its way down. The coronavirus only made it worse, right? They have started to erode the traditional credit strengths of the U.S. Unemployment has skyrocketed, and this goes into the scripture in Ecclesiastes, okay? The 12th chapter, all right, which basically also what is that? Is that Zephaniah 1:10 or 1:11 when it speaks about the Maktesh, right? Let me, because I'm bad at quoting scriptures. Let me just get that. I believe it's Zephaniah 1:11. Okay. Zephaniah 1. Here it is. It says, this is Zephaniah 1:11. How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off. All right. Maktesh was a merchant city. All right. The equivalent of the merchant city, or the equivalent to Maktesh now, is what Wall Street. Which Wall Street, you have a lot of economists that say we're close to an economic crash. We're close to a stock market crash that's gonna trump or be way worse than the crash in 1929. Okay, so America's economy is not looking so good, pretty much. Unemployment has skyrocketed, and the U.S. economy just notched up its worst quarter on record, with pandemic-related shutdowns helping drive an annualized gross domestic product contraction. So it's our GDP is basically saying gross domestic product, our GDP. All right, the GDP is basically um, uh, a measurement of how much a country makes. Gross domestic product, right? It decreased. It said a contraction or decreased of 32.9% in 3 month period through June. I believe they're speaking about the second quarter, right? And with infections still spreading rapidly in many states, the virus's damaging impact on output looks set to continue. Meaning, the virus, right, which is causing all these stores to close, businesses not to reopen. All right, companies closing down for being closed for so long. it's saying the damaging impact of that is looks to continue. It says, okay, and furthermore, this $600 a week thing was set to actually was over yesterday. Right now is August 1st. It expired this week. Okay. I think I got an article on that. Let me go to the GDP. Right, economic. This is from the Washington Post. It says economic relief grows urgent as numbers show huge economic collapse. And if you drive around any of your main cities, if you go to the downtown area, a majority of those stores are closing down. They look just like this. Everything must go. Um, everything must go. Look at this. You go down to your downtown area, wherever you might live, and you go downtown, you'll see it looks just like this. And then you'll see those mom and pop stores. Them stores ain't coming back. Them stores ain't definitely coming back, man. All right. But these major stores, this is probably a chain. These stores are closing down. So how much more the mom and pop stores that aren't a chain that does not have that much money? Okay. It says the U.S. economy suffered its worst collapse during ever. Look at that. Worst collapse ever during the coronavirus shutdown in the second quarter. While the report was expected, it added pressure Thursday as negotiators in Washington reach a deal on another round of emergency federal aid for businesses and tens of millions of unemployed workers. Gross GDP, or gross domestic product, fell at an annual rate of 32.9% April through June. It was the worst performance since the government began tracking GDP in 1947. Economics had a forecast of a drop of 34.7%. So what they estimated was pretty damn close. All right, we had a drop of 32.9. They estimated 34.7. Initial jobless claims rose slightly last week to 1.43. Continuing claims rose another 867,000. The total number of continuing unemployment benefit claims climbed to more than 17 million as outbreaks of coronavirus surged in many states. So this economy, man, is not looking so good. What's this? Oh, that's small businesses owners are leaning more towards credit to survive. Okay. All right. Which means if you're using a credit card, that means you ain't got no money to use, man. And this is just like your last ditch effort. That's why people are gonna. That's why people are hoping that the government passes another round of, because those programs that they passed when the coronavirus started, to help businesses and to help the people unemployed, that's running out, man. That money, they compared it putting a band-aid on a bullet wound. It won't do anything. Okay, here's another article from Bloomberg. It's from MSN.com, but they got it from Bloomberg. 1/3 of U.S. restaurants face permanent closure this year. Permanent. As many as 231,000 of the nation's roughly 600 eateries will likely shut down this year, according to an estimate from restaurant consultancy Aaron and Allen. This will bring the industry's steady growth to a halt and mark the first time in 2 decades that the U.S. restaurant counts don't climb. Restaurants have already shed millions of jobs this year. So you're going to see a lot of record-breaking decreases in, such as this. Right now, this is the first time in 2 decades that you see a negative, a negative result, or a negative as far as the amount of restaurant stores opening in 2 decades, man. Okay, so you're gonna see a lot of records being broken as far as this economy. That's Ecclesiastes 12. All right. That's pretty much it. Lord willing, you brothers are edified. Until the next show, shalawam.